All right, we're here with the competitors of a fantastic last match on this court here. Great job, Will.
Thank you.
Mike, fantastic fight, the two of you guys. Great calling with you too, Ryan. That was amazing. So, first question for Will. You lost that first set,
Yeah.
and it seemed like Mike just had all the momentum, all the weight in that. What'd you do to turn it around?
Stayed within myself. I mentioned it throughout the video. That I was trying to keep my heart rate not too high but not too low and steady the ship, because it was getting to a point where I was just getting a bit over too much stimulus. So trying to level myself off and stay within the rally more and get it in and then start grinding. Because when I was winning the points with the long exchanges, I was losing them when he was short. So I was just kind of get the ball moving.
Yeah, definitely. And Mike, where did you start to feel, the match kind of changing direction for you?
I felt the match really shift I was up 1-0, and then there was a couple of points where maybe I could have broken, and then I felt like, and I said it out there, where I felt like my brain just took like a 3-game lapse. Like I can't even really remember kind of what happened those 3 points. my brain was just kind of all over the place. I think I was just like, I put so much effort and energy to knock this guy in the first set, and then I kind of had, just one of those layovers, and I had to kind of just kind of flush that away and then kind of, build it back. But I think that's where, I've said even in my outro, sometimes my greatest strength is my will and the energy and passion that I bring, but it's sometimes more than sometimes even my body can handle. Whether I was in great shape or whether I'm in terrible shape, it's just like the way I described in the outro was, when you have a car going at 7,000 RPM, it's only so long before the engine's going to cut out and it's just going to die. So I needed to just, as Will kind of said, where he made that adjustment of not getting too high, not getting too low, and even the outbursts that you have, short ones, so it's quick, instead of having, kind of a prolonged outgate. But then he sensed that, he was able to jump on that. I tried my best to kind of steer the ship. I was able to get it back up 4-3, and even there I was just trying to, I could feel it. My legs were going I was like, okay, I know exactly where this is going, and I was trying to finish it off quickly. Had a match point at 5-4.
That's true. Yeah.
Then he just pulls out a huge serve up the tee, and I was just like, but all the credit to him, and he was able to sense the real shift. But I think it was in that second or third game that really just everything could just kind of shifted his way.
I saw the one point that I thought really shifted it was that serve actually that you hit that was significantly out, and that's when the hand stuff started.
Oh, yeah,
so
big.
That I thought was the time when it really shifted, but that brings a whole new dynamic, because all of a sudden you're playing an injured player, you're trying to fight through an injury. Yeah. Will, what did you do to kind of keep up mentally? Because that can be tough sometimes when you have that kind of letdown of a player who gets injured.
That's an awesome question. It's like when a deer is hurt or a predator is hurt, sometimes they're more vicious and they can be more resilient. And in the past, I've been burned doing that, where I've relaxed. And at those points, I try and take every point as it comes. And sometimes you hear me counting down. Okay, 3 more points, 2 more points, 1 more point, to try and stabilize the inner stimulus that's outer stimulus, and then try and keep me level. And then when that wrist was going, I go, okay, but don't give him, because if you start to relax, he's going to get you, and you're going to feel more you gave it him when you relaxed rather than when he was in trouble.
And that's even what I said in one of the cameras, where I knew the competitor that he was, and some people I know are going to comment and kind of go, oh, why are you doing that when he's clearly hurt? Why are you doing it? It's like, no, that's the reason why I respect him the most, is because no matter how I'm feeling, he's not going to let up. And so me as a competitor, I respect that more than when he's starting to feel sorry for me and bringing his level down. No, he's going for the kill. He doesn't care if it's a 3-legged horse. He's going to go, right through it. He's going to do the job that he needs to do. And that actually kind of helped me to go, okay, I just got to find another gear instead of him feeling bad. And then, my level lax, that actually kind of helped me, try to find a 7th gear in a 6-gear transmission. But that's one of the reasons why I love hitting and competing with Will. That's the biggest thing that I respect about him, is that his competitive fire, it will not waver, no matter what the situation is.
And you did look like you were starting to kind of get figured out again in that tie break toward the center of it. Yeah, you came back some points. How did you manage trying to go big and finish the points versus trying to still make Will play when you're not feeling it either?
I think the biggest thing was that I was no longer at that point. Part of the reason that at 4-5, all that tension started to get up was because I had a fear of losing. Or it's like, oh, if I lose this, there's no way I'm going to be able to come back. And in that tie break, I basically just said, I threw caution to the wind. I'm going down with this ship, whether it's a win or whether it's a loss, and I'm just throwing
Blaze of glory.
Blaze of glory, the kitchen sink at him. If he beats me, he beats me. So on that match point, I'm just going to bull rush him, and then he ends up finding an angle and wins it. Then for me, I just know I did everything possible to force him to have to beat me, and he actually did. So just being able to be a little bit freer and weightless and just knowing, listen, I'm going to grip it and rip it. I'm going to go big. If I miss, I'm missing at least on my terms, instead of just trying to just push and kind of keep the rally going.
You know, from our perspective up there, it seemed like there were two, you know, like specific strategies that each of you was following. You wanted to like drag out the rallies and kind of run him wider and wider and kind of take his legs out from underneath him. And your successful play was like pushing him back and getting to the net. Like when you were at the net, you were, you know, you were just a wall closer to the net. And it seemed like that the give and take, you know, of that second set really kind of was defined by that. You know, what I noticed though was that you somewhere in that second set just amped up your serve. You were adding like, you know, like 5-10 miles an hour to it, and I think at 3-all and 5-4 in the breaker, you hit two of the biggest balls that I've seen on this court. Just like serves. Just, I mean, you even looked up and said, "What was that?"
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
And I mean that credit to you, because that was amazing, and credit to you for like actually extending him to 10-8 in that breaker, because I mean, you know, that was I mean, Ryan and I were just like, what's happening? You know,
We felt so much tension.
To be honest, it's like that's all I wanted to be able to do was listen. Just make this entertaining as possible. Just try to drag him down through the mud with you. Just bring him down to your level. Just do whatever you can to make this fun and entertaining for everyone else. And then I was able to scrap a couple of points. And it's the same thing, just threw caution to the wind. If he wins, he wins. But just that fear of not being afraid to lose just felt so freeing. And that was the biggest takeaway that I can, you know, take away from that. That's where, for me, I'm not upset that I lost.
Even though you have to go to France.
Correct.
Yeah, go to
Canada.
France.
He had to go. He had to go to France.
well, rest assured, it was entertaining, and we actually we're just a tiny bit disappointed that it didn't get, I don't want to say chippy, but after that second serve underhand, after that we thought like this is going to be just a circus. This is
I
gonna
wanted
be
to
great.
end with a fight. I wanted to
and-
see punches.
well, not punches, but I mean, we kind of saw you just like bite your lip like you're doing right now. Like, oh, okay.
Well, because literally what it was, he served, I'm literally standing there, I look down, and then I'm pretty sure he saw me look down, and as I look up, all of a sudden I just see the ball just dribble over, and I'm just like...
To add insult to injury, you hit the
I got
tape.
that tape. I got tape as well.
So you couldn't even call that.
That was a moment where I was like, is he going to say we are playing Let's Go? Or-
I knew exactly when it happened. I was like, that cheeky son of a gun. I knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, it was. We got mileage out of that one. That was great.
yeah.
So, but any final thoughts you guys have?
Yeah, how did you feel me messing around with my returning position? I wanted to see.
It only got me once. It was the one double fault I had.
Twice.
I don't
yeah.
fault it, at least in the tiebreak, and I told myself, I'm like, don't look up. He's trying to bait you into where the one that you did there was, I saw it right as I went up. You shifted, and then it threw my timing off a little bit. But especially when you were on this side, I'm just like, okay. And there was one where you were standing way out there. You were taking away the wide. I'm just like, I'm just going T. I'm just going to send this. I'm just going to send this ball. And that's where I aced it. I was like, thank you. I'm just not going to allow him. I'm just going to go about my business just like a pitcher in baseball. He can stand wherever he wants. I am going to hit that spot no matter what he is going to do. And so that's probably the best way you can take with the service. And he knows exactly what I'm talking about too.
You guys have history. Yeah.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way. It's just when to throw him off. I was just trying to throw you off, but I was saying on the camera, on like halfway through, it's not technically cheating.
No.
It's not technically cheating, but it's a little bit cheeky, is what we would see. It's a good way of putting it. And that's my way. I've learned that through my old coach. He used to play on the tour, and I was in North Carolina at my D1. He said, Will, if you're losing, don't do the same thing if you're going to keep losing. Mix it up, make him think. And that's when that returning started to get more use. I was saying, do I roll, do I push throughout the whole time? And eventually the rolling was just keeping you back. And then my positioning was throwing you off, so I got some cheeky points.
And I think you and I were going back and forth on there was a point where when I set up this goal, like, I'm going to be a wall right now. You were trying to go too big. And then all of a sudden you were like, hey, I'm just going to grind. And then all of a sudden I was just like, wait a minute. I'm hitting 8 to 9 ball rallies. And he's standing in the middle of the court. And all of a sudden I'm just getting exhausted. So I'm just like, okay, 2 to 3 balls, no matter what, just hit.
Yeah.
We kind of went back and forth on who was being attacking, who was being grinding, like, the whole time.
Yeah.
You had a great slice rally, though. I was just so happy to see that. It was a beautiful thing.
Had to get one.
Yeah, no,
Had
it
to get
was,
one.
it was great.
Was there any point in time where you were both just like, we're gonna keep slicing, like
That
dare you to do
that
anything
rally
else?
was like, you miss for I miss, baby.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was just.
And I got too greedy. I was just like, F this, I'm just going to come in. And then I bull rushed it, and then I missed it.
Yeah, that was good. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
No, but,
So much fun.
yeah.
You got any final thoughts?
No, just ET, essentially dance. Thank you, and mentioned before, it's a great way to go out, and we'll get you guys set up, and we'll crush it next time. So thank you so much.
Outstanding. I'll say thank you both for playing. Great job.
Thank you.
Great job, Mike.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Ryan.
For me,
Thank you.
biggest thanks to Ian for what
Yeah, Ian.
for what he's kind of created in all this. All the credit goes to him. And sorry that I wasn't able to kind of end the last match on this court in a win, but I'm glad that it was at least able to be a competitive thing for everyone to watch.
That was one of the best matches.
That
That was one of the best matches we've seen on this court. So
I knew that
no shame.
whether I was going to win and lose, there was going to be a lot of shouting, good and bad.
Yeah.
So I feel good.
That was a great one to go out on, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well,
Blaze of glory.
Let's go. Whatever, mate. That was awesome.